Good morning, everyone. Let us start. Today we shall take up a new chapter, that is primary activities. I will present my screen. So this is the new chapter, primary activities, chapter 5 of fundamentals of human geography. So first we let us understand what economic activities are. See, it is given here. Human activities which generate income are known as economic activities. Any activities which generate income, which earn income, are known as economic activities. And we have four categories or groups of economic activities given here: primary activities, secondary activities, tertiary activities, and quaternary activities. So this will be, all these activities will be learning on later in the this next chapter, in the following chapters. And see what are primary activities. Let us see, let us read. So primary activities are the activities which are directly dependent on environment, and as these refer to utilization of earth resources such as land, water, vegetation, building materials, and minerals. Okay, that means primary activities refer to the utilization of earth resources directly. Primary activities refer to the utilization of primary activities refer to utilization of earth resources directly. So what are those earth resources? Such as land, water, vegetation, that is forest, okay, building materials, and minerals. So we have different types of primary activities given here, like hunting, gathering, pastoral activities, fishing, forestry, agriculture, mining, and quarrying. So all these are the important types of primary activities. Here in this box we have two important questions. The first one is, why are the inhabitants of coastal and plain regions engaged in fishing and agriculture respectively? Let me repeat. Why are the inhabitants of coastal and plain regions engaged in fishing and agriculture respectively? So do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? Okay, see here, we have to bring the concept of environmental determinism. Okay, still environmental determinism is prevalent, is applicable in some parts of the world. Okay, so what do you mean by environmental determinism? The attitude, occupation, food habit, all these are dependent on, all these are determined, controlled by the environment, by the nature. That is what we call environmental determinism. So in the coastal areas, definitely we have to do fishing since there is no other alternative. Likewise, in the plain areas, plain regions provide fertile soil, and so agriculture is the only alternative. So in this way, you have to correlate the concept of this environmental determinism here. Another important question is here, what are the physical and social factors which affect the primary activities? So what are the physical and social factors which affect the type of primary activities in different regions of the world? Can you suggest some physical and social factors? Can you suggest me? Anybody? See, here physical factors affecting primary activities. See, we can say physical factors so what are the physical factors that we can suggest? Say, for example, we have these landforms, okay, mountain, plains, plateaus, coastal areas. Then we have climate. Then we have soils. Okay, so these are the three important physical factors that affect the primary activities. Okay, so depending on this type of landform, okay, so what kind of activity can be done? So for example, so if a region is a mountainous area, a well-forested area, then we have to rely on this forestry or hunting or gathering like that. In the plain areas, we have to depend on the permanent cultivation. Then climate is also another factor. Then soil is also another factor. Okay, then socioeconomic factors. Can you suggest some socioeconomic? Say, for example, for the socioeconomic one, for the socioeconomic factors, we can say, for example, the standard of living. Standard of living. For example, actually, if the standard of living is poor, okay, low, then generally say we may adopt this hunting, gathering, or even in the case of agriculture, they may practice shifting cultivation, not a permanent one. Okay, and whereas for the higher one, they may practice sedentary. Permanent cultivation may be a practice. So in this way, standard of living is also another factor. Okay, so these are the points you can put forward. Then here one important term, red collar workers. So who are red collar workers? People engaged in primary activities are called red collar workers due to the outdoor nature of their work. So people engaged in agriculture, people engaged in primary activity, fishing, hunting, are known as red collar workers because of their outdoor nature, because their work is mainly done, okay, out of the houses. That is why. Now let us read an important type of primary activity, that is hunting and gathering. So when we discuss any activity, okay, any say primary activity, so we have to find out the important features of these economic activities. Now let us try to find out important features or the characteristics of hunting and gathering, the oldest non-economic activity. Okay, the hunting and gathering, the oldest non-economic activity. Let us try to find out the features. So some of the features are here. These hunting and gathering activities are carried out at different levels with different orientations. Okay, depending on the socio-economic condition of the people, hunting and gathering is done at different levels. Okay, say for example in the ancient time, during the prehistoric or ancient time, it is done at a smaller scale. Okay, hunting, you know, these early hunters use primitive tools made of stones, then stick, arrow, and that is why the number of animals killed was limited. But nowadays in other part of the world, human beings use rifles, okay, guns to hunt the animals also, and with different orientation. Okay, the purpose may be different. For some group of people, for some group of these people, they may be practicing hunting and gathering mainly for subsistence, okay, for livelihood, and for some other people it may be market oriented. Okay, so these are the points you have to remember. Then other important feature of hunting gathering is here. So gathering is practiced in regions with harsh climatic condition, like a very cold region, or very cold hot region, or a very densely forested region. So in those regions, gathering is practiced where there is no way to cultivate the land. Then another point, another feature is here. It often involves primitive societies. In most of the cases, hunting gathering involves these primitive societies who extract both plants and these animals to satisfy their need for food, shelter, and clothing, that is subsistence in nature. Okay, and this type of activity requires a small amount of capital investment and operates at a very low level of technology. See, as I told you earlier, say it is hunting and gathering, this is done, okay, in some part of the world this is done at a very low level of technology. They use only these arrows, then stick, and some other tools and weapons, except in some areas where technology is high, they may be using rifles, and that is why capital investment, okay, also may be low. And another point, another feature mentioned here is that the yield per person is very low and little or no surplus is produced. Okay, say collection of these resources, maybe forest resources, fruit, herbs, okay, bark, all these actually cannot be collected on large scale, because these are mainly done by the primitive tribes. and that is why we are not using machines also, and that is why the yield, the quantity collected by a person is very very low, and it is subsistence is nature. As I told you, little or no surplus is produced. So no surplus is produced. And this about the areas where gathering activity is practiced. So we have two important reasons. One is the high latitude zones, which include northern Canada, then northern Eurasia, and southern Chile. The first one is the high latitude, these zones. Here, let us see this map. High latitude zone means these polar areas. Okay, here polar areas, and so here high means see the value of latitudes. High, see 60 degree north, then 65, then 90. Okay, these are known as high latitudes. The values are high. And so which are the areas mentioned there? Here we have this northern Canada. Okay, this is not a map. Actually map is here in the text. Okay, here this is northern Canada, then this is northern Eurasia. It is also known as tundra region, northern part of Russia. Okay, then we have southern Chile for the high latitudes. Okay, southern part of this Chile. Then another region is the low latitude zone, such as the Amazon basin, tropical Africa, northern fringe of Australia, and the interior part of Southeast Asia. Low latitude means these areas near the equator. The values of latitude is low. Okay, let us see the map. See here, this is the equator, and latitude near the equator. The latitude having low values are known as low latitude. Okay, so what are the reasons? First, what are the reasons? See, we have Amazon basin, tropical Africa. Say Amazon basin is here. So this is Amazon basin. Then this is tropical Africa. Okay, then what is the other one? Other one is northern fringe of Australia and Southeast Asia. Here northern fringe of Australia, here, and Southeast Asia here. So these are the reasons where gathering activity is practiced. And see, one more point you have to learn is that in modern times, some gathering is market oriented and has become commercial. This statement is very important because one question has been asked from this paragraph. Okay, in the CBSE exams, and so you have to support this statement, or you have to describe this statement. In modern times, some gathering is market oriented, means done mainly for selling. Okay, and has become commercial. Then what are the points supporting this statement? Here we have the lines. Gatherers collect valuable plants such as leaves, barks of trees and medicinal plants, and after simple processing sell the products in the market. That means market oriented. Mainly gathering is done mainly for the selling, and they use various parts of plants. For example, the bark is used for quinine, see, and sometimes tree bark. Okay, it is used for making quinine, the medicine used for treatment of malaria. Okay, actually it's from the cinchona tree, from the bark of the cinchona tree, actually quinine is prepared. Then tanning extract, then cork, then leaf supply material for beverages, means drinks are prepared, then drugs are prepared, manufactured, cosmetic items, fibers, tats, fabrics, nuts, for food and oils, and the tree trunk yield rubber, balata, gums, resin. So many forest products are collected, gathered, and it is are sold in the market. And hence, in some part of the world, gathering activity has become market oriented. Okay, and see, we have one photograph of this gathering here. So what is the title? Women gathering oranges in Mizoram. So here, whether it can be called a gathering activity or not, you may think. Okay, so what I want to say is that even in Manipur, okay, in the Tamenglong district of Manipur, plantation of oranges done, and from that it is plucked and it is sold in the market. Then means it is not nowadays a gathering activity. Okay, because it is plantation is done, and that is why you may think about this photograph. Okay, you have to verify it whether it is a gathering activity or plantation work. And one important point is here. So this is an example of the forest product. See, I think all of you may be chewing gum. You may be chewing gum. And what is the name of the part of the chewing gum after the flavor is gone? It is called sickle, and made from milky juice of Japota tree. That means some of the items that we eat every day, okay, are obtained from the forest. And here about another important point we have to remember is that nowadays this gathering activity has a steep competition from the synthetic products. Okay, because synthetic products often offer better quality and at lower prices, and that is why so we have a steep competition. Gathering activity has a steep competition from the synthetic products. Okay, we cannot compete gathering products in the international market. That is the point we have to learn. So this is about hunting and gathering. Any question from your side? Any question? Any question? Okay. Here, who is Ivy Bhaipai? Who is Ivy Bhaipai? For the first time, I am seeing this boy or girl. Okay, let us proceed. So another important primary activity is the pastoralism. Okay, you know pasture meaning means grasslands. Okay, natural grasslands. And pastoralism refers to the rearing of animals in the natural grasslands. That is called pastoralism. And see, people living in different climatic conditions selected and domesticated animals found in those regions. So this is how animals were domesticated. So animals domesticated in one country may be different from another country. Why? Because of having different climatic conditions, because of having differences in the landform. Okay, so different types of animals were selected by the human beings and reared in those particular countries. And this pastoralism can be subsistence in nature or commercial also. See, we have two types of this pastoralism. The first one is known as the nomadic herding. Okay, another one is known as commercial livestock rearing. So let us take up nomadic herding first. So let us try to find out the important features of nomadic herding, and after that let us try to compare with the features of the commercial livestock rearing. So here the first feature is given here, and it can be the definition of this activity. Okay, so nomadic herding or pastoral nomadism is a primitive subsistence activity in which the herders rely on animals for food, clothing, shelter, tools, and transport. So nomadic herding is a primitive subsistence activity. Subsistence means for livelihood. Okay, sometimes no surplus, and in which the herders, the rearers, the human beings, okay, depend on animals for food, clothing, then for their shelter, and for transportation and tools. So this is the first important feature of nomadic herding. Another feature is here, herders move from one place to another with their livestock depending on the amount and the quality of pastures and water. So in search of grassland and water, okay, the herders move from one place to another place. This is another feature, not permanent. Okay, then the third one is nomadic community occupies a well-defined territory as a matter of tradition. So as a matter of tradition, so each community has their own territory and they cannot cross the territories. Okay, and so this is an example of this nomadic herding, okay, in the mountainous area. Then another important feature of this activity, nomadic herding, is that a wide variety of animals is kept in different regions. Different types of animals are reared in different regions. So what are those animals reared, domesticated in different regions? So in tropical Africa, cattle are reared. Then in Sahara Desert and Asiatic deserts, sheep, goat, and camel are reared. In Tibet, okay, and the Andes mountain, that is in South America, Latin America. Andes, you know, is a mountain range. So in Tibet, yak is reared. In Andes mountain, llamas are reared. And in the Arctic and subarctic areas, reindeer, okay, is reared. So these are the different animals reared in the different parts of the world. And see about the reasons, about the areas of pastoral nomadism. We have three important reasons, okay, practicing pastoral nomadism. The first one is the Atlantic shores of North America. Atlantic shores of North America. Let us see this map. Atlantic shores of North America. This is North Africa, North America. Okay. Here, this is the Atlantic shores of the North Africa. Then what is the next reason? Arabian Peninsula here. Arabian Peninsula. This region. So this is the Arabian Peninsula. Then Mongolia and Central China. Next we have Mongolia and Central China here. Mongolia and Central China. And another region is the Northern Eurasia, also known as tundra region. Okay, this is Northern Africa, Arabian Peninsula, Mongolia and Central China, tundra region, that is Northern Eurasia. So these are the regions mentioned here. Okay, and another one, see, in the southern hemisphere, Southwest Africa and Madagascar. Sometimes it is asked in the map work also for identification. Okay, Southwest Africa and Madagascar. Here, Madagascar. Again, let us see the map. So this is Southwest Africa, and so this is Madagascar. Frequently asked one to identify. Okay, Madagascar. So here in this nomadic herding, we learn that people are mobile. They move from one place to another place in search of water and these quality grasslands. So we have two important types of movement done by them. Okay, movement in search of pasture is undertaken either over vast horizontal distances or vertically, from one elevation to another in the mountainous area. That means we have two types of movements done by the nomadic herders. The first one is the horizontal movement. Another one is the vertical movement. So what is the vertical movement mentioned here? The vertical movement done by them is known as transhumance. Okay, the vertical movement known as transhumance. What is a transhumance? Can you tell me, anybody? What is a transhumance? Anybody? What is transhumance? Okay, let us read. Actually, this is a seasonal movement of herders. See, here it is explained here. The process of migration from plain areas to pastures on mountain during summers and again from mountain pasture to plain areas during winter is known as transhumance. It means that transhumance is the seasonal migration of herders. Okay, in search of this pasture. It is like this. Say here, this is a big mountain range, and see here during the winter season, you know, mountain is covered with ice, snow, and that is why during the winter the nomadic herders are moving downwards in the plain area, okay, and graze their animal here. This is in the winter season. And in the summer, this ice, okay, when the ice is melted in summer, these herders again will climb up the mountain slope to graze their animals here, okay, on the slope of the mountain. So this is called transhumance. Okay, in summer, the herders will climb up the mountain slope to graze the animals, and in winter they will climb down. They will come down in the plain areas to graze the animals in the plain. So this seasonal migration is known as transhumance. So it is done by these tribes. In case of Himalayan mountain, we have Gujars, Bakalwars, then Gadis, Bhotias. Okay, Gujars, Bakarwals, Gadis, Bhotias. So these are the tribe practicing transhumance. Okay, and about this horizontal movement, it is mainly practiced in the tundra region. Okay, horizontal movement is mainly practiced in this tundra region here. So here also see when in the this is the polar region, and in the winter, so it is covered with ice, and that is why people are moving towards the south. Okay, they are moving towards the south, and in the summer they will move towards the north. Let us see the text. See here, the nomadic herders move from south to north in summers and from north to south in winter. In winter they are going to the south, and in the summer they are going to the north, that is to the polar areas. This is what we call horizontal movement. Okay, so these are the two types of movement done by the nomadic herding herders. Vertical movement, that is transhuman, and horizontal movement, that is a practice that is done in the polar regions. And one important point you have to know is given here. The number of pastoral nomads has been decreasing and areas operated by them shrinking. The areas of nomadic herding is decreasing day by day. The size of the area has been decreasing day by day, and the reason is given here. This is due to imposition of political boundaries. Okay, so the delimitation of the boundaries done not to cross their areas. Okay, then another point is that new settlement planned by different countries. We know that they have this temporary settlement, so they usually move from one place to another place. So the government is trying to settle those people in a particular place. That is called a settlement plan, scheme of villagization. Okay, is there. About this nomadic herding, any question from your side about nomadic herding? Any question about nomadic herding? Any question? Nobody is responding. Any question? Okay, transhumance. Okay, I have to repeat transhumance. Transhumance means the seasonal migration of people. Okay, see, during the winter, you may see this diagram again. So during the winter, see, mountain slopes are covered with this ice and snow, and that is why the nomadic herders, okay, climb down the mountain slope and graze their animals in the plain area. And in the summer, the ice has been melted, and in summer they used to move up. Okay, in summer the herder used to climb up the mountain slope to graze their animals, and this type of activity is known as transhumance. Okay, are you clear? Are you clear, Basti? Transhumance means, okay, this migration of herders in search of grassland and water with the change of season. Okay, between plains and mountain. And so let us proceed. Another important pastoral activity is known as commercial livestock rearing, and Here let us try to find out the important features, and after that let us compare with those features of this nomadic herding. Okay, see, the first feature is given here. Unlike nomadic herding, commercial livestock rearing is more organized and capital intensive. Commercial livestock rearing is more organized and there is heavy capital investment. Okay, this is the first point. Actually, for the nomadic herding, this is a subsistence activity. Nomadic herding is a primitive subsistence activity, but this one is not a subsistence one. It is commercial, mainly for selling, and hence more capital is invested. So another point is here. So here this commercial livestock rearing is practiced on permanent ranches. Commercial livestock rearing is permanent activity. Permanent. People are not moving from one place to another place. They are rearing the animals in the permanent ranches. Whereas for the nomadic herders, they are not permanent. They move from one place to another place. And these ranches cover large areas and are divided into a number of parcels which are fenced to regulate the grazing. It is like this. See, actually these ranches are very big. Okay, the size of the ranches, artificial grasslands are very big, sometimes more than 2,000 hectares in case of USA. Let us see what they are doing is that, let us say this is a range. This is a range, and the size of this range may be 2,000 hectares in case of USA, maybe 600 in New Zealand. Okay, so they are divided these ranches into many parcels like this, and each parcel is fenced using these barbed wires or maybe some other wood, log, or any other. So this is fenced like this. Each parcel is fenced, each section is fenced like this. And so in the first week animals are allowed to graze here. The animals are allowed to graze here, and when this parcel is totally grazed, then their animals are shifted to the next parcel, and when the second one is again finished, then again the animals will be shifted to the next parcel like this. Okay, so this is the point mentioned here. The ranches cover large areas, more than 2,000 hectares of land, and are divided into a number of parcels, sections, and which are fenced to regulate grazing. And when the grass of one parcel is grazed, animals are moved to another parcel, as I told you earlier. Okay. Then another feature, the number of animals in the pasture is kept according to the carrying capacity of the pasture. Means the number of the animal is related with the size of the grassland. Okay, if the grassland is very big, if the range is very big, the number of animals is more. If the grassland is small, then number of animals is less. Okay, that is the point mentioned here. According to the carrying capacity of the grassland, they are keeping their animals. Another feature is here. This is a specialized activity in which only one type of animals is reared. Whereas in case of nomadic herding, variety of animals is kept. Okay, in case of commercial livestock rearing, only one type of animal is reared in a particular range. Okay, and important animals reared include sheep, cattle, goat, horses. And another feature here is that products such as meat, wool, hide, and skin are processed and packed scientifically and exported to different world markets. That means, as I told you earlier, for the commercial livestock rearing, the products, they are rearing the animal mainly for selling in the country or in the international market. Whereas for the nomadic herding, they are rearing animals mainly for subsistence, mainly for their livelihood. In this case, the meat, wool, hide, and skin are processed in the factories and packed scientifically and exported to different world markets. So this is the main difference between nomadic herding and commercial livestock rearing. And it is done on scientific basis that we have learned. Then the main another feature, the main emphasis is on breeding, genetic improvement, disease control, and health care of the animals. Whereas in case of nomadic herding, there is no scientific treatment of the animals, there is no scientific breeding of the animals, okay, there is no disease control methods or techniques. But in case of nomadic this commercial livestock rearing, we have the scientific process, okay. Scientific breeding is done, then genetic improvement is done, researches and development is done, disease control, then healthcare animals are taken into account. Okay, so these are the important features of the this commercial livestock rearing. And about the important areas where commercial livestock rearing is done are this: New Zealand, Australia, Argentina, Uruguay, United States of America. Let us see this map here. Here we have this America, okay. We have this United States of America. Then we have this Uruguay is here. This is Uruguay, okay. Then Argentina is somewhere here, okay. This part Argentina. Then what is the other place? Then Australia and New Zealand. So Australia is here and New Zealand is here. So these are the areas where commercial livestock rearing mainly done. And here also, say it is not mentioned, but here also this is the steppe region of Eurasia, here also, and here also, okay, in Africa, southern Africa, southwestern part of Africa. And this is an example of this commercial livestock rearing. Can you tell me what is the name of the animal here? What type of animal is reared here? I think you are seeing fences also. See, fencing is done here. And can you tell me what kind of animal is this? Can you tell me what kind of animal is this? Just see this photograph, okay. See. Okay, very good. Reindeer. Yes, Tracy, reindeer. So any question about the differences or the features of this nomadic herding and the commercial livestock rearing? Any question? Any question? Okay, if you don't have any difficulty, any doubt, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class. And after leaving my class, so please leave your name in the WhatsApp group. Today, new boys, I think mainly some boys are joining my class, so please leave your name in the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for joining my class.